Cool.
All right, yo, what do we got?
All right, our first question comes from Ade saying, my mom got married to a citizen and filed. We're waiting on our interview date. We've been giving our work authorization card, but I'd like to know if there is a document I can use for my school's financial aid stating that I'm a legal alien resident. So they already gave it.
You are not a legal alien resident. You have a pending adjustment. So you can't get financial aid until you get a green card, which you don't have yet.
So you can't get financial aid until you have a green card.
Correct. And by the way, I just want to correct one thing. I don't want anyone to be insulted by Uncle Brad. But I see Cordella saying, Brad, how come I don't have a badge? I have no control over it.
A badge?
Yeah, a badge like top fan, best commenter, you know, whatever the badges are. I have no control over it.
Who said that?
Mark Zuckerberg has control over it, but Uncle Brad has no control.
I feel like if you just go crazy, maybe like it a bunch of times, share it as much as you can,
I think
keep on commenting.
Eventually Mark Zuckerberg will say you're a top fan.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with us.
Right.
All right, our next one, it says, had my marriage-based interview on October 30th of this year. Document file was submitted on April 4th, 2018. Was told by the officer that case was approved and it will be mailed within the next 3 weeks. Week 4, no mail update. On file, contact USCIS customer service. Was told case was out of normal scheduled timing. Do you continue to wait or should I contact you to proceed?
Well, they said that you would be approved. Wait 120 days. If no green card in mail, then contact me.
Okay. Next says, I appreciate the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
I tried to file an adjustment of status on my own because I did not have the money to pay a lawyer. I submitted the application September 25th, 2019, was received October 1st, completed biometric. Then I received an RFE last week because my husband did not complete the I-864. I didn't know he still, since we got someone else that was above the poverty line to sign, I didn't know that he still needed to complete it until someone asked on the Brad Show Live. My question is, do I need to submit a separate I-864 form for me and my daughter and evidence they requested, or just sign one?
As a matter of fact, I think I even spoke to this person today, but the answer is, and if it's the same person, which I believe it is, but maybe not, the answer is whether your husband makes enough money or not, he has to do an affidavit of support for you, an I-864, sign it, send it in with whatever financial documentation he has, and he has to do a separate I-864 for your daughter because he filed 2 separate I-130s, one for you and one for your daughter. So it's 2 I-864s, 2 packages of financial documentation.
Awesome. Our next one comes from Eric saying, I have an immigration problem. I came here as a K-1 with my daughter way back in 2010. We got married with my fiance June 2010. Unlucky. We got separated 3 months after the wedding. Right now, I'm still working on my divorce, and I have a girlfriend right now. And we have a wonderful daughter. My girlfriend is a U.S. citizen. Is there a possibility to change my status to my girlfriend? Thank you and more power.
Change your status to your girlfriend? No, you can't change your status to your girlfriend. You can marry your girlfriend after you're divorced, and she can then become your wife, and she's a U.S. citizen, and refile a new adjustment for you.
All right. Next one says, I did my biometrics today. What does the process entail moving forward in terms of what's next up until the interview?
You'll get a work permit in the mail and an interview for your green card after.
Also, my daughter petitioned for me. Do I have to do an interview?
Yes.
All right. Narisa is saying a misdemeanor case, pled not guilty. Person was given 1 year of unmonitored probation and case was dismissed after. When can they apply for citizenship? No other issues with the law. Can they travel outside? They weren't found guilty.
Yeah, if you got unmonitored probation, you were found guilty of something.
No, so they pled not guilty. Person was given 1 year of unmonitored probation and case was dismissed after. So the case was dismissed.
I would need to see what happened with that unmonitored probation. Depends what state it was. Depends. I don't know if you pled guilty and you were sentenced to unmonitored probation.
They said they pled not guilty.
I understand that, but they don't sometimes understand what they're pleading guilty to.
Gotcha.
And you plead guilty, you get unmonitored probation in certain states. After that, they say, okay, after you've done all of this, we're going to dismiss the charges. But that is still a guilty plea for immigration purposes because you pled guilty and you got a punishment. Now, if they just said, we're going to continue the case, we're not going to make you plead guilty or not guilty to anything, and you're going to get unmonitored probation for a year, and then at the end of the year, everything's okay, we're going to dismiss the charges, well, then you never pled guilty to anything, because the definition of a crime for immigration is you pled guilty, you were found guilty by a jury or a judge, and a punishment was imposed. Punishment could be unmonitored probation. A punishment could be community service. A punishment could be pay a fine. It could be jail time.
Right.
So I don't know. I would need to know more.
All right, Bond Brown saying, my friend got married on a visitor's visa here. He has been here for 5 months now and wants to go home. Will he have problems coming back to the country? Got married before the 90 days.
Yes, because every time you come back, they're going to say you're coming back to live. And that you also may have a problem because they're going to say you violated your visitor's visa. You said you were coming to visit, not to get married. You should have then come on a fiancé visa.
All right, Carol Anderson, the Tiger, said, hey, Brad, wanted to know if you're a green card holder and you have a change of address, should you update your status with USCIS or your stated ID as well if you change your address?
Both.
Okay.
Both.
And if so, how do you go about doing that?
Well, you do the with the USCIS. It's on an AR-11 form. You can do that online. And with the state, depends what state you're on, go online. Like in New York, they have my NYDMV or whatever the website is. You can do that online as well. I just did it with myself.
Okay.
I just realized I had moved.
Oh, you forgot to...
And I never changed my...
yeah, don't you do it on like a postal...
You can do it right online in New York. Yeah, I did it online
just
this
Google
over the
that.
weekend.
Yeah, Google's your friend.
Yeah.
I had to do that as well. Yeah. Paulette saying, Brad, thanks for your work to the community, helping people with their immigration problems. My daughter sent in a renewal for deferred action about 2 weeks ago. How long do you think it will take to get her appointment for fingerprints?
For deferred action, I guess that's the DACA. She should be getting it shortly.
Okay. Kiki saying, based on new marijuana rulings, can someone who served time then deported get their green card reinstated?
No, because marijuana is still an inadmissible offense under the Immigration and Nationality Act.
Okay, Beverly saying, after an approved VAWA, what's next? I received my work authorization in August, and the I-485 was filed at the same time with the I-360 21 months ago.
You should be getting an interview for a green card shortly.
Daniel G saying, what is USCIS policy regarding F, M, and J students? Is it a new policy that came out in August 2018 or an old one before that?
I guess the policy about when unlawful presence starts, it's the new policy. Unlawful presence starts as soon as you're done with school.
Zachary saying, can a counselor overseas at the interview ask the immigrant applicant to show proof of health insurance as proof of not to be a public charge?
Absolutely.
Daniel G saying, is public charge rules stopped from going into effect by Carolina district judge all over the world?
No, just in the United States.
Don Smith saying, when you're in process of divorce, do I have to notify immigration we've been married for 5 years and I have a 10-year green card?
No, you don't.
Renato saying, if USCIS asks you for more paperwork and you send it to them, how long before you know that they got it?
Send it return receipt mail. Send it FedEx.
There you
get a signature.
Yeah. All right, Garfield saying, bless up, Brad. Is there a cutoff period for immigrant visa interview in Jamaica for this year?
Cutoff date for who's sponsoring who? There's a lot of cutoff dates. Go look online to the Visa Bulletin.
All right. Tanisha saying, Brad, my husband, who is a U.S. citizen, filed for my son. I got an email from NVC saying his paperwork was approved, but haven't heard anything since. What do I do?
If your husband's a citizen, you haven't heard anything after 4 or 5 weeks, then contact the National Visa Center.
Nova saying, can some have outstanding traffic tickets and issue a warrant to go to court? Will it affect them if he applied to adjust his status for I-485?
Yes, because it could show bad moral character. Better
Life Records saying, Brad, can you continue your petition on your own or get a new sponsor if you divorce while the I-130 is still pending?
No, you cannot. You got to show up with a wife. So if you and your wife are no longer together, you and your spouse are no longer together, we get this question every show. You got 3 choices. Make up with your wife, get back together with her, get divorced, marry someone else in a bona fide marriage that you can show up to an interview with and restart again, file a VAWA.
Okay, Safi saying, what happened after you filed a mandamus after 120 days for the I-360? What's going to happen?
Well, hopefully the federal judge will force the government to make a decision if you did the mandamus right.
Okay, VAWA saying, my cousin's husband is a U.S. citizen. He filed for my cousin. The case was filed since July 30th.
There's no filing for cousins. What are you talking about?
My cousin's husband is a U.S.
Okay, fine, got it. So
citizen.
spouse filed. Okay.
Yes, so the spouse filed for the cousin July 30th, 2019, and approved July 18th, 2019. Now the case is at NVC. She sent. That's all I get it. So I don't know. If
so that means you're on your way. You got to do the packet 3, pay the filing fees, the affidavits of support, and eventually the case will be transferred to the home country for a visa interview.
Okay, Rihanna saying my sister
Rihanna.
just my wife.
Rihanna.
Yes, my sister just got back.
Wait, who's asking that question again?
Rihanna.
Rihanna.
Yes. Okay. My sister.
Yeah. Right.
Right. My sister. Okay.
Okay.
My sister just got back in the country. In the country with humanitarian parole for 6 months.
We spoke to her on the phone.
Did you?
Or did we ask her this question? She called on the phone. She had the humanitarian parole.
Oh, yeah. We didn't know. Did we know that was? We did say that.
But we didn't know that was Rihanna.
I didn't know that was Rihanna. So you spoke to Rihanna and you didn't even know.
That didn't sound like Rihanna.
Sheesh.
Oh, I got all excited.
All right. Our last one for right now is Elena saying, do you have an update on the healthcare proclamation?
There's an injunction on it.
All right.
So nothing. Thanks for watching. For more Bradshaw Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.